Hello.
What's up, buddy?
It's good, man. It's good. Can you believe I'm nervous? I was like, I don't know why.
I don't
Just
know.
watching that. Anyways,
Don't
what's
be
up, guys?
nervous, man. Don't be
It's good.
nervous. Take your
I'm
time,
excited.
chill.
Excited. That's what it is. I'm excited.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 18. 18,
Right on,
right?
buddy.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's
18,
good,
right?
buddy.
We're
That's
working
good.
hard. We're like semi-professional. I got a list and stuff.
We do. We do.
Yeah, you got a list too. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Look at that. Look at that. We're growing up.
We're
We're
big
almost
boys now. We're big boys.
we're over 40, but we're growing up. Like in the podcast, I mean, like we're professional. You know what I mean? Soon we'll have like specific little papers with like the logo on the back. Anyways, let's just jump to the main event of the evening. We're talking about how to be successful on the field. So me and Tim will tell you guys what we think, and of course, some of you guys will help us out because a lot of amazing players do watch our show. I'm not gonna start naming people now because people, oh, you didn't call my name, right? What did you do today, Tim?
What did I do today?
Yeah,
I was editing a video. Went from Red Dawn last weekend.
nice.
Yes.
I
That's
was
what I
playing
did.
paintball today. It was a beautiful day, man.
Nice. I seen some of your
Awesome
posts
day.
there. Seen some of your pictures. That was pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, beautiful day. Like 9 degrees.
Ooh,
Sunny.
almost in the double digits.
Yep.
The
Still
positive
a
double
lot of
digits,
sun.
not the
There's a lot of
negatives either, right?
yeah, because we get -10, -15. No, it was a good day. It was a good day. Already in the chat, we got Gregory saying, "Don't get shot." All right, that's a pretty good tip. I'm not gonna say anything else.
And by
Paul,
not getting shot, one of my pro tips on that would be make yourself as small as possible.
yep, lose weight, right? That
Lose some weight. Yeah,
lose some
that
weight,
works.
some pounds after the holidays. Let's jump in. Paul is saying elbow tucked. Try not to pop out of the same spot after a couple of pops out, keeping them guessing where you're going to come out. That's not bad. That's actually very good. Very good.
Keep moving.
What's up, Colin? What's up, Ryan? Ryan, your comment is too big for us to post. Of course, we got John Adams here. This guy is a very good player. And what's up, Zach? All right. The first one that I want to talk about is being unpredictable on the field. And something
Very.
that happened today. I was in a bunker and I was surrounded. My guys on the left side were completely eliminated, and I still have a couple of guys on the right side. So I knew they're coming. I knew they're coming on the left side, and I did something unpredictable. The guy was waiting for me. It's like a small house, like a little house bunker, and he thought I was gonna stay in the bunker, so he came to bunker me. But I was the aggressor on that one, and I was able to eliminate him. Of course, I started shooting my own teammate after that, and I got shot in the butt.
Ooh,
So we're not gonna talk about that. All right. So be unpredictable, right? What do you think?
very. I would say definitely be unpredictable. Because the more, like, especially with us, we play with a lot of repeat people, right? We're seeing the same people a lot. And if they can catch on to your style of play, they're going to predict what you're doing before you even do it. They're just going to read you. They're going to know how you move. So change it up all the time. Always. And that's why I like watching other YouTube videos of other players as well, because you can take some of their tactics with yours, the way they move, and just keep switching it up. Watch different things on how people strategize on the field, how they move, stuff like that. It helps a lot. And never get comfortable with one style of play. Constantly change it up. Constantly be moving. Constantly change that style up. Keep people
Well,
guessing.
changing your
Keep yourself
style,
guessing.
yeah, changing your style makes you unpredictable in the field. If somebody, let's say, is known to carry a lot of pods, speed baller style player, right? He stay in
Right.
one corner, keep shooting. You got to be unpredictable, right? If you're that guy, well, you know what? They're gonna keep you distracted. They're gonna suppress you, and then they're gonna flank your ass, and they're gonna shoot you. So be unpredictable. Keep moving. Keep them guessing. It's paintball. Sometimes when you play with really good players, it's like a chess game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The first guy who makes a mistake is eliminated, right? And there's a lot of
I
luck. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of luck. If you got shot and it bounced like
I
today.
try to play it like a chess game. I don't. A lot of people that I see, they play it like a checkers game. I
Yeah.
play it like a chess game. I try to think 4 or 5 bunkers ahead. So if I'm in a shootout with you, Chris, although I'm shooting it out with you, I don't keep my tunnel vision on you. You don't want tunnel vision. So as I'm having a firefight with you, I'm looking at all the bunkers behind you, where the players are behind you. So if I can take you out and I know it's open behind you, I'm going to keep going. I'm not just going to bunker down where you were and wait for the enemy. If I see that it's open and it's clear, I'm going to take you out and I'm going to keep moving. But
Yeah.
while we're in a shootout, if I notice two guys off to your left by the van, I know a guy over here and he's hiding behind the shrubs, I'm going to move to my next best cover. I'm not, and that's being unpredictable too at the same time, because they might be thinking once I've taken you out, I might want to take your spot, right? Where I'm not going to. So know your surroundings. That's a very important thing, and don't get tunnel vision. That's one thing I've had happen to me a lot of times, was getting tunnel vision when I first started balling. And it was the main reason I was respawning a lot of times in a lot of games was tunnel vision.
Zach Joseph's secret to unpredictability is not to be predictable. Sean Zhu, this guy's hitting us with Art of War.
Yes, he is. And you know what?
Me and this guy, we actually read the book, so we know
so
what
have
we're
I.
talking about.
So have I. I've even watched it on YouTube. If you don't want to read, you can go check out the Art of War on YouTube, and you can.
The easiest way.
Hey, who's got time to read a book this thick? Not me.
Yeah, we don't.
Not anymore.
We don't have that much time. What do you think of practice? Practice snap shooting.
Practice makes perfect,
reloading. Buddy. Do some cardio. Get in shape. You know what I mean? If you're a new player right now, the best way to practice basically is to play more, right?
Yep.
So the more you play, the more you get better. But at the same time, like, just like I started in the basement, there's no ammo in my mags. I'm just practicing reloading, and now I'm pretty fast when it comes to reloading. That's a good skill, and
especially with the mags that you have now. You don't have the continuous mags, so you have to keep swapping them out. So, and I've seen a lot of people, you even do it yourself, Chris. I've noticed when I've chit-chatted with you before, you'll sit at home with your marker in your hand and you will practice re-indexing.
I'll show you. I'm going to try to get my marker here.
And guys, know your gear. That's another important thing. Know your gear. I struggled last game because I haven't played in 4 months, so I've been out of practice, and re-indexing my mags back into my pouch, I struggled. It was rough. It's one thing that I've realized now, that even in the off season, if you're not playing, if you're just sitting around doing nothing, if you're cleaning mags, editing a video or something, grab your marker. Do what Chris is doing right now. Practice, practice your reload, stuff like that. And if you're a mag fed player, you want to cut that reload time down as fast as you can. Or if you're doing pods, if you're a speedball player, or if you're running a pump, you got to grab those tubes. You got to constantly keep feeding the paint, right? So you don't want to be digging and looking like, oh, is this over here? Is this over? You want to know where your balls are when you need them. That kind of sounded a little funny. You need to know where your balls are when you need them. But no, when you're reaching for your hoppers, when you're reaching for your tubes or whatever, you want to know right where they are. You don't want to be.
It's not about it's not about fast reloading. It's about the fact that you're gonna get caught while struggling to reload with pods or magazines, right? I mean, I can reload really fast, but sometimes maybe, where did I put my pod? Where did I put my mag? I can't get Velcro. So just practice, practice in a game, practice, in your house, do whatever you can just to be faster. You don't want to get shot because you dropped the mag or whatever. Just be ready, be quick. And like a lot of you guys are saying the same stuff here. Selfless plug charity. Colin. I love Colin. It's also one of the things that it really bothers me. And Tim, you know that, right? If you've been playing for a few years or a couple of years, you need to switch hands. It is not an option. It's not like, well, I choose not. No, you can. You
can't decide what bunker you're going to go into if you're going to take the left or the right.
You have to switch. You got to switch hands from the right to the left. Listen, accuracy, I get it. If you switch to your left and you're righty, right? That accuracy is going to come when you practice. It's going to
come, sure.
Right?
100%.
But when you keep switching, in the beginning, it's going to be hard. You're going to struggle a little bit, but then it becomes like a muscle memory. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Automatically, you're just switching. So why do you switch? Tim, let them know, why do you have to switch?
Why do you have to switch? For instance, one of the main reasons why I'm always switching when I'm going into a bunker, or if I'm covering a building, I'm a southpaw. So I tend, and I still do it to this day, I will always, if I have the option, I will take the left side of a bunker.
Yeah.
And if anyone's balled against me, once again, you got to be unpredictable. So now what I'm starting to do, I'm starting to switch it up. When I go into bunkers, or if I go up to a building, I try taking the right side now so I can practice shooting from my right side. I'm not saying I'm accurate. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm hitting all my targets, but I'm practicing. I'm switching it up. That guy that played against me the last 2 games, he knows I go left. So now I'm switching up on him, and maybe one of those random balls might get him off on the right-hand side or something. Or maybe he's looking left. I come right, and now I'm bunkering him. Maybe I'm coming in flanking him. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah,
I find you have to really switch it up, man, and
yeah.
keep practicing that or snap shooting too, stuff like that. It's great to
Snap
do.
shooting in both hands. Don't just snap shoot with your right if you're righty or lefty. Everything you have to be ambidextrous, man. That's what I have to be if you want to be a great player. You know what I mean? So, Patrick is saying play against better players and learn from them. You will never get better playing against less skilled player. That was actually one of my points here. I put play with
You're
better
only as good
players.
as your competition, right?
Yeah, if you were playing with rentals, you're gonna be on that level forever. But one thing that me and Tim did is we played with speedballers when we were playing MacFed. So that really helps us. It helped me become a better player with MacFed and speedball because I play both. So always play with skilled players. Listen, you're gonna get discouraged a little bit. You're gonna get your butt kicked, but every time you play with them, it's like you're stealing some of their strength, some of their
Yeah,
skills. You're learning from them. The best way for you to learn as a player is for you to lose. The more fights you
for
lose, the
sure.
better for you.
For
So it's not
sure.
about winning or losing. It's about learning and becoming a better player. So um, always be aware of the mistakes you're doing on the field. And honestly, it's one of the main reasons why I got a GoPro in the beginning, like a few years ago, is to watch how I play
Yes.
and correct my mistakes because I got it on
Yep.
camera, right?
Yep. And I've known a lot of players, Chris, and I see them with GoPros, and I'm like, dude, what's your channel? Like, where can I
Mhm.
find you? Where can I go check out some of your work? I don't. I just use this at home. I just use this so I can pay attention to where my mistakes are, where I'm going wrong, what am I doing best? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it helps, man. Like, I know a lot of people that will do that. Like, they just come home, watch their footage, just kind of like watching other people's footage, right?
Yeah, yeah,
See, I noticed you, Chris, doing this a lot. So then I'll go and try it, and then I'll look back at my footage and I'll be like, damn, I kind of picked that up pretty quick. Why didn't I do that
yeah,
before? And then I keep practicing it and practicing it. And when you think you have it down packed, you don't. You just have it down packed maybe on the left side. Like if we're talking about snap shooting, right? Like you were
yeah,
saying, you got to learn to snap shoot from both sides, both hands.
yeah.
So you think you got it down on the left, switch it up and go to your right hand. Practice
Yeah.
snap shooting from your right.
It's
Till you
also
get it.
the form. It's not only that you're just snap shooting. You have to learn the basics of paintball, how to shoot in paintball, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing a lot of guys, especially those who watch a lot of like, tactical videos and, real steel stuff, it's very different than paintball, guys. That might work for airsoft. It won't work for paintball.
Yeah.
All right. When they're shooting real guns, they're not tucking that elbow in. They don't care, right? And a lot of them, they'll have a sling on if you're watching like real steel stuff, and you can tell that he doesn't really switch hands that much. Do you know what I mean? So for you, if you're watching this, don't learn from this stuff. Learn from paintballers. Learn from speedballers. All right. So if you're MacFit or speedball, learn from the pros, from speedballers, because they have the best technique. They have the speed. They have the accuracy, and they're very unpredictable and they're very aggressive. So that recipe is just scary on the field if you're facing those guys. So one of the things when you shoot right behind a bunker on the side or left, whatever, is keep your elbow tucked, right? Keep your feet behind cover and only lean either right or left. Give them only your gun, half your mask, and just your shoulder to shoot at. That's the target, right? Don't be standing like that. Hey, I'm right here. Come shoot me in my chest, right? If you get shot in the elbow, if you get shot in your head, you're actually doing you're actually doing the right thing. If you get shot in the butt, like what happened to me, it's not a good thing. So I need to practice more, I guess. So learn the basics of how to shoot. I do recommend you guys watch a lot of speedball games, and Excel, OPL, MIPL, whatever it is, and learn from those guys. Um,
Practice often, as much as you
yeah,
can. Even
actually,
if you can't hit a
watching
field, man,
YouTube
you
is
can go out
actually
there and you can
useful.
play some ball in your backyard, with some of your buddies, but be safe. Don't be
Yeah,
like doing some crazy moves like, John Wick or something like that. Just Just think to yourself what you would want to be doing on the field and go execute. And that's like we have the MagFed League here. George here, he's in the chat, and he has a MagFed League that he runs throughout the winter. And it's great because it keeps you on point all winter long, man. You like, look at me. I didn't go once this year because I had some other things I had to focus on, and I felt it last game.
Yeah.
I was totally, like I said, when it come to re-indexing my mags on my reloads, I was slow. I was behind on the play, and I kicked myself in the ass for it. So I find if you guys have a league where you guys can go in the off season, because everyone says there's no off season, there is an off season. If you can find like an indoor league or something like that, like George has put together, go to it and keep playing all the things that you want to try. That's your time. It's not a big game, so it's not like you're worried about losing points or anything's happening. No, that's the time where you practice what you want to practice.
Colin saying Tim gets shot in the butt all the time. Innocent whistle. Nothing innocent about that.
Yeah, Colin, you're a bugger.
I do understand what George is saying about using the same marker and getting used to it and having that muscle
You
memory.
know it.
I've been playing with the MG for 3 games now, and I still need freaking like 10 more games to master it. I've used the T15
Maybe
for
even
3
more.
years. Yeah. But again, you know what I mean? And one thing too, I keep changing the setup, the loadout. I put a power stock, I put a 13 CI. It's all about practice. So when I'm playing today at Commando, I'm not really trying to achieve anything. I'm not trying to get 15, 20 eliminations. I'm practicing. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting ready for the season.
That's it.
Running in the snow is hard. It's good cardio though. So even for someone like myself who have been playing for like 5, 6 years, every day that I play with the members or I play, at PRG with Tim, with a lot of guys on the 28, is always practice. I'm still working on improving my skill. And one of the things that I learned from the beginning is watch YouTube. I'm not even kidding. I put on YouTube how to play paintball, and there was just a random guy teaching people how to shoot. And he had some good ideas, like don't shoot over a bunker, shoot from the side of the bunker.
Now, why is that?
Well, if you're shooting from the side, first of all, you can make yourself an easier target. You can always duck. You can always go back, right? You can snap shoot from there.
As opposed to having half your body sticking out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Plus,
making yourself as small as possible if you can, right?
Yourself a small target. Now,
yep.
I have gained a lot of pounds, so I got to lose 30 pounds to go back to being a small target. Like,
well, that's what happens when you have your own McBreakfast, right?
Yeah, the sausage egg, buddy.
And like George was saying, he's been using the same marker for 3 years, no scope, because he knows how those balls come out of that marker. He knows it.
I don't have a scope on mine. Only when I use first strike in a rifle barrel, I put a scope on. But for round ball, I actually won't be using green dot anymore. Again, something different. I'm trying. I'm using the marker the way it works well with my skill, with the way I play, right? So that's another point we want to talk about, right? If you're not a fast player, don't have a heavy loadout, right? Do a light loadout so you can work or run faster.
Or if you're just new into the game, maybe start with a simple loadout.
Yeah.
Not so much on it, so you can master where everything is. You know where it is when you want it, right? Like I know some people, some of the guys on the Bunker Boys, when they play, they have 2 dump pouches. They have one because a lot of them run pistols, right? So they'll have one dump pouch that's for full mags, and they'll have one that's obviously for the empty.
Yeah.
Because that's all they run with. They don't have holsters. They don't have pouches here or there. They don't have no chest rigs, nothing like that. They're light. And that's what keeps them going and that's another thing. You don't want to sit in one spot too long. When you're playing, especially if you're an attacker, you want to, as soon as you see that enemy's head go down, you want to be advancing, because when he pops up, he's going to think you're in the same spot. So next thing you know, you could be in the bunker to the left of him. You could be to the right of him. You could be 5 feet in front of him now. So when you see his head go down, you keep moving. Just keep moving and be unpredictable. Again, unpredictable.
I think Matt is good point here. Experience. Taking up a new marker, you are not starting from scratch. If you T15 experience, you got the max cycle, you have done all help master the next marker. That is 100% true. Yep. It's basically just a different setup for me. The way I hold the MG is a bit different than the T15. But I don't have like major issues. I can reload the same. Accuracy is good. The only thing that I need to practice more is just running and gunning. The way I'm holding the MG is
Right.
a little bit different, so that one I need to practice more. Eventually, the muscle memory will come back. The experience will come back.
John
Um,
Adams has a good one here too. On a sunny day, watch your shadow. It can be your worst enemy.
that's a very, very, very good tip, and I know what he's talking about.
Has it
So
happened to you?
yes. I actually used it against a player. It wasn't my shadow that was the problem. It
Okay.
was an indoor. It was actually recently at in Montreal. We're playing indoor, very very dark field, but in some corners you can see people's shadows, right? So I saw the guy's
Right.
shadow, and I knew where he was. I actually waited for him to reload. It was a MagFed only game, so
Okay.
I can see in the shadow he's pulling the mag, and I just rushed him.
There you go. You
So
got that.
that felt great, man.
There we
When
go.
that
So there we
happened, I was
go.
like,
John, thanks for that tip right there.
there you
And
go.
it is right. And sound. Pay. You don't just listen to what's going on around you. You have to listen to everything because you might like me. When I reload, I let my teammates know that are by me. I'm reloading. I'm saying that so they can cover me. They can take that angle. You know what I mean? If I say that too loud, and sometimes I do because it's just my adrenaline pumping, the enemy hears that, they're going to move up on you so quick. Or pay attention to dry fire, stuff like that. When you hear someone dry firing,
Yeah.
a lot of people sometimes I've seen in big games, guys are out of paint in the final battle, but they'll still dry fire just to throw you off.
Mm.
So I listen for that and it's like, dude, nothing's coming at me. Here I come, right? Or I've been with people when I've been reloading. We were at Wasaga one game last summer for their final battle, and I was up in the tower. I ducked down to reload, and this guy is snapping them off, and then they try coming right up the stairs because they knew he was dry firing. They heard me yell out to him, I'm reloading.
Mm.
They knew he was dry firing. So what
Yeah.
did they do? They tried coming up the stairs, but by the time they came up the stairs, I already had my
Damn.
marker ready for him, right? I heard them coming up the stairs. So know your surroundings. That's another pro tip, man. Know your surroundings, not just for shits and giggles, but it could be for you moving. It could be knowing your surroundings. You can put yourself in a certain part of that field, knowing when you're dug in on a defend, they only have one other way to go because
Let me
you've
tell
got
you
that whole
something.
anchor covered, right?
Even if you're reloading and somebody come and rushes you, right? Work on your speed. It shouldn't
That's
take you
it.
more than a second to reload that mag. Listen, drop it on the ground if you're playing a small game in your home field. Drop the
Definitely.
mag on the ground. Put back that ammo. Do tactical reloads, and that works also, guys, for hoppers. We're not just talking about MagFed here. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
If you're making
Yeah.
a crazy push and your hopper is half full, just dump half a pot in it. You know what I mean? Make sure you don't run out. There's a lot of things you can do, but again, what is being successful in the field? Is it getting an elimination? Is it winning games? Is it
Depends on the
surviving?
situation.
Is it surviving?
What's your mind frame when you go into the game? What are you trying to do? You could be successful because you want to learn something new, and
Yeah,
you can be doing that all day. So to you,
yeah,
you're being
exactly,
successful, right?
exactly. But if you're looking at it from we want to win the game, well, you can do a lot of stuff. You can be great at
Communication.
get
Communicate.
communication. You can
You
talk to your
have to
teammate and help them.
communicate, whether it's comms, yelling loud. You need to communicate because I've seen so many flanks, whether whether it's out playing rec ball, whether it's in a big game. I've seen so many flanks get destroyed. Like we got destroyed last weekend.
Yeah,
Like we went to take a hill, and you'll see in my video coming out, I'm yelling at the guys, you need to defend this one flank. So what do? They see the enemy coming at them, and they run towards us. So we got completely zeroed. You got to dig in and you just defend it. Don't hesitate. It's only going to hurt for a minute. If it does
yeah.
hurt, 9 out of 10 times our
You
adrenaline's
feel it.
pumping. You ain't going to feel it at all. So just dig in and hold what you got to hold, man.
Hey,
It's a learning
Malcolm,
experience.
Malcolm, I feel the same way, man. Get some kills and get killed a few times. That's what I love.
That's it.
I love that adrenaline.
Or shoot your
Honestly,
team from 3 feet, right,
win.
Malcolm?
I'd rather lose a good fight than win an easy one. Just I
You know
want to have
what?
fun.
Cheers, buddy. I
Cheers.
agree. I totally agree on that.
Good. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Don't be afraid of the ball. The ball is your friend. Remember, you always win when you go against the ball. It breaks, right? I mean, you're eliminated, but you win, right? Just be aggressive. Don't be afraid to be aggressive on the field. Be on the 50, be on the front lines. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of opportunities for you to get elimination, to help your teammate push. Um, so be aggressive. We all remember our first time playing, how much we were afraid to get hit. Do you know what I mean? Don't play paintball and thinking, oh, I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. It's not about that. It's about helping your teammate win or achieving objectives.
Work
Just
as a
have fun.
team.
So don't be afraid of getting eliminated. It's not a big deal. Never play the game to try to prove something. Don't play the game because you're trying to say that I'm better than that player. It doesn't matter. This is not
Nah.
basketball. There's no best players in paintball. There's skilled players and there's players who are working the way to become skilled, to become pros.
Yep.
So be aggressive. That's the way I enjoy playing. But at the same time, there's a good balance between being aggressive and being patient. And this is what I call it. It's all about reading the field, understanding when it's time to push, when it's time to wait, when it's time to talk to your teammate.
Take risks.
Take risk. Yeah, you got to risk it to get that biscuit, right?
That's
So
it, buddy.
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of getting lit up. You know, I mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it works out. But when it works out, you're getting tons of respect from other players, right? When you do something crazy, you got a bunch of kills and then you get lit up after that. That feels great. Um,
It
yeah.
does.
So be smart. Read the field. Understand when it's
But
time to
when you take
push.
risks, when we're saying take risks too, we're not saying be like stupid risks like, oh, I'm going to climb out the 2-story and hang from the window and drop down and go get. No, don't take stupid risks like that. Like, if you think you can go rush this guy and there's 3 guys behind the bunker and you want to go do a suicide run, don't hesitate. Go do it. What do you
Yeah.
have to lose? You got to go back to respawn to get air and pain anyways. Take the
Exactly.
risk. Go do
Exactly.
it. You might get 1
Um,
or 2 of those guys out of there, and the next team, your next squad can move forward, hopefully.
I know a very a player he's a new player. But he's very, very, very aggressive. Like he's aggressive from the beginning of the game till the end, and he does every push he does is a suicide run. And I was trying
Oh,
to help him. I
yeah?
was like, he's a buddy, you know him too. He's a good buddy of mine. I was like, buddy, you gotta be patient. All right, we need you to hold that position. All right. Don't just see one player in a big game where you have unlimited respawn and just go after him. Yeah, you shot him, but then you got lit up, and then we lost that position. So
That's right.
understand that in big games, you play a certain way that is very different than small games. Because small games, if you eliminate 2 players, team deathmatch, that game is over, right? But if you're playing a big
Or
game
walk on.
or walk on, big games is a bit different. It's a bit more complicated. There's objectives, the
You
ground
could be out there for
domination.
hours at a time. Do you want to be
Exactly.
burning
Exactly.
energy and stuff like that so early into the day? I don't.
Yep. Yep. And if you're a new player or young player, try to listen to advice from guys who've been playing the sport for a long time. If they try to tell you something like today, I've had a couple of conversations with 2 players during the game where one of them were basically sticking his gun out behind the
Blind
bunker like
fire?
that. It wasn't really blind firing, but it was like he's telling them, "Hey, this is my marker. Start shooting at my marker." And I told him maybe take a step back from that bunker and start snap shooting. And I told him, "Can you shoot
Ah,
with your left?" So it was awesome, man. He was doing it as I was telling him during the game. We both
good.
got eliminated really a couple of minutes after that, but that
It
it
happens.
was a good moment. It was a good moment. Jumping 2 stories.
Yeah, I think I was just reading that. I think he's looking at what I was saying about it, right?
I'm
But you
sorry.
do.
Oh, Alex Donovan. Yeah, don't be a reaver. How'd you know I was talking about you, bro?
Is that who you were talking about? Was Alex?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. He's Alex has been playing for a couple of years. He's so fast, but he's like what do you call that Tasmanian devil? That cartoon?
He's always wound up, ready to go.
Yeah, like calm down. You're really fast. You're
Well,
really skilled. You got the heart. Just calm down. He's right
but
there. I love it.
that's awesome.
Look
That's
at him
awesome.
laughing. It's only because I love you, bro. I didn't want to put your name out there, but you did it to yourself.
And I
Yep,
think a
that
big
is
thing
Reaper
too
PB.
is working together to be successful on a team, like not individual success, but as a team, you have to work together. And that's where communication, stuff like that comes in handy, because there's times where you go out and you'll see new players at a big game, and when you hear them coming off into staging, they'll approach you and they'll be like, "Man, the way you're communicating out there, telling this guy to go here, to go there, that's awesome." And then the next time I go out on the field, I see them doing it.
Mm.
So it's like, man, they picked up on that, because you'll see sometimes new players just sitting down doing their thing. It's like they're in their own little Call of Duty game. They're
Yeah.
just doing their own thing and stuff. And a lot of them wish they had somebody that could communicate with them as a teammate, right? So communicate with your team and work as a team with your teammates. And I think pretty much you'll have a better time playing too, because you're not going to feel. Some people might just show up sometimes to paintball, like we were saying earlier, like some of the negative things in paintball on the last episode. Some people, when they see something negative, they don't show up. So sometimes when people might show up to a field, if they're not socializing with other people or communicating, they might not feel this ain't for me. But when they actually get that, like, fist bump coming off, like, dude, we worked together, like that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there's no better feeling, whether you got hit trying to do it or not.
Show in paintball. You got to communicate.
It feels great working together and having like, I got to go over here. So I'm going to send you four over here, and me and this guy, we're going to go down here. We're going to try and flank them. And then when you execute that, there's no better feeling.
That's true.
I don't think there is. Like, of course there is, but when you can execute a plan that you put together as a team with people that you don't even know, that's great, because you're working great together because of the communication.
We got Samuel saying, check your corners and always look for the next closest piece of cover. Don't be afraid to hit the ground if needed. Helps me a lot. That's actually a good tip. Know the bunker, study the field. That's a good one too. A lot of people do that before they go on tournaments. Same thing for rec ball. You can do the same. If you haven't played in a certain field, go on YouTube, go on Google Maps, understand the field, learn about the bunkers. Now, if you're new, I mean, obviously there's a lot of guys on the chat who've been playing for a couple of years, and I'm not telling you guys that, but for those who haven't been playing for a long time, understanding how the bunkers are positioned in the field could be the difference between winning or losing a fight. If you have a bunker, on a specific angle, just suppress, move to another bunker with a different angle, and maybe you can have a better chance of eliminating that player. So the angles makes a big difference. Understanding the field, high ground, that kind of stuff, it does help you a lot. I'm seeing some markers are pretty funny. Yep. Malcolm, another pro tip here: keep your marker up.
Always guns up, move up, right?
Yeah, guns up, move up. Shout out to Drekcam. We got a lot of comments here. I can't keep up, dude. Field knowledge. There you go. So again, Google Maps, YouTube. This is what I did when I went to Flag Raiders for the first time for Battle Royale, the first one. I got there early, 2 hours before the game, and I took a walk in the field. I put my mask on, took a little walk. Before I did that, I watched a couple of videos. I went on Google Maps because I had no idea about
what you're getting
field.
into. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still do that at PRZ. I still do that when I go to PRZ, because sometimes I go up there and things are changed around.
Yeah.
So, it can change from game to game too, folks. So like Chris is saying, know your surroundings, go check out the field, take 20 minutes. That's all it takes. You got your mags all bombed up, you're ready to go, or you've got your hoppers and your pods filled up, you're ready to hit the field. Half an hour before game starts, go take 20 minutes out, go check out the field.
What about the marker? Do you think the marker has to do with skill, being successful? Like let's say you are maybe someone who's still new at the game and you're playing pump. You know what I mean? You don't have that accuracy, you don't have that snap shooting skill. Could be maybe switch the marker, get something else, but keep practicing your pump.
You're asking me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, you could be mentioned. People could reply to the comments.
Well,
come on now.
Yeah, in the comments, let us know what you guys think. Could be. Is it
I think your marker. The marker doesn't make the player. You make the marker, but knowing your marker is one thing. Because, like George was saying earlier, he's been playing for 3 years without a scope.
Yeah.
On his marker, and he knows where that shot's going. He just knows it. So I try not to change up from one marker to the next. Unless I'm shooting strictly round ball, then I have a marker for round ball. If I'm shooting first strike, obviously I have one for first strikes. But knowing your marker is important. You have to know it, because there's times where I've come up and I'm using an optic and it's not helping me, because sometimes it gets fogged up on the inside. So then I have to readjust. I don't use my iron sights. So I just know my marker. I just know that shot. If it's a round ball, oh, it's hard to tell. But when I'm shooting a first strike, I know
Yeah.
exactly where it's going to go. I know pretty much right where it's going to drop. And it's all within moving your marker, seriously, within an inch. Just raising the barrel an inch or moving it left or right an inch or so. It means so much. So
But you have a couple of T15s,
yeah.
and it's all about you choosing which marker is good for example, PRZ versus kitchen, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
PRZ, you're playing
Yes.
indoors, right? So you want maybe a shorter marker,
I do.
CQB,
I
right?
do. I
So
have
that
I have a smaller one for CQB up at PRZ that I use, and the barrel that's in it, it's good for round ball and first strike.
Mm.
So it just comes down to the size, how compact it is, right?
I'll give you guys an example. Today I played outdoors at Commando, lots of snow. Probably 95% of players were young speedballers, and I was playing MacFed. Um, Ideally, I don't play MacFed in these conditions because the way I play, and that's the point I wanna make here. Understand how you play, understand your own style, right? I like to play aggressive. I like to move really fast. That's how I get those eliminations by getting close, by being unpredictable, right? But if you're playing in the snow, it's hard for me to run. It's hard for me to get
Mm-hmm.
close to you fast enough. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So today, the first three games were good. The rest of the games were completely like I got my ass kicked. I mean, I'll get a elimination here and there, but I lost a lot of battles due to
Due to what?
the fact that it's not good for MacFed. There's a lot of players today were just staying in one bunker and just unloading. That's all it
Okay.
is, right? Eventually, one will hit you, even if you're skilled, right? I'm shooting 1-2 shot at a player, and he's shooting 15, 20 at the
He's
same
sending
time.
in
So
ropes at you, right?
exactly. So on a day like today, I would have been, more successful if I use a speedball marker. So again, no excuses, you know what I mean? But that's the way I play. It's very hard for me coming, from an injury last year to run in the snow. I lose stamina. There's a lot of time where you're running and the snow is really deep, so you get stuck there.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, I don't know what to do. You get lit
Time to
up.
defend.
That happened. That happened a couple of times. It's not a big deal, but I'm just saying today would have been a better,
That's knowing your
outcome if
surroundings
I
and
use a
knowing the
speedball
field too,
marker.
right?
Exactly. For me, I call it a chicken eating dinner attitude. Because have you seen a chicken eat? It's very suspicious. It's always looking around. Take a little food, just keep looking right and left. You got to be like a chicken. You got to check all your angles, and you have to understand. Let's say you're working alone. Okay, you have to cover the whole field. You have to cover from your 3 o'clock to your 9 o'clock. But if you have a teammate, that teammate can cover, you know what I mean? Your 12 to your 9 or your 12 to your
To
3.
your three.
So work with a teammate. Tell him, hey, buddy, don't be shy, even if you don't know the guy. Hey, buddy, can you cover my left? I'm gonna cover your right. Do you know what I mean? If he's moving, make sure he tells you. You know what I mean? Hey, Tim, I'm moving to that next bunker. I got you, buddy. I'm gonna suppress for you. And one thing I've learned early on when I start playing is don't move and then suppress. Suppress and move.
As you move.
Yeah,
I
as you move.
you
But what
know,
I do is if I have somebody in front of me shooting at me, I'm gonna shoot a couple of shots and then I'm gonna run to the next
mm-hmm.
bunker,
Yes,
right?
yes.
When you're suppressing him, what is he doing? Is he going back to cover?
That's right.
Right?
That's when you keep moving.
When he peeks back, you already relocated to another bunker.
That's what I
So,
was saying earlier, right?
and these
And
are
keep
basically,
and keep them going like that because that's again being unpredictable.
yeah.
We got a good one here. Any tips for fields with heavy bush, twigs, branches that shred paintballs and make it hard to hit a target?
Yeah, playing wintertime.
Don't listen to this guy. But yeah, play in the winter. No, but I would say I've noticed sometimes where I'll have a second mag handy because the first mag is kind of clearing little branches and stuff out of the way.
Mm,
You know what I mean, Chris? Like when you're
yeah.
shooting, they might break off little twigs, stuff like that, or get closer. Now, it might get a little bit thicker when you get in there, but eventually one of those balls should make it through and hopefully get your target or get close enough to your target where he drops his head or she drops her head and you can move to the next bunker and get that clear spot where there is no bush around you.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's actually very good advice. one thing I do recommend for new players, know what your strength is and understand what your weaknesses are. Do you know what I mean? If you're
Yes.
fast, be aggressive. Okay.
Yep.
If you're not very athletic and let's say you're slow, right? Maybe work on your aim. So
Hmm.
understand your own attributes. Like for example, John Adams, very very athletic, very very fast. So what he does is he get close to you. Okay. He uses a tip axe, which is a perfect marker for someone who is very fast, who likes to run a lot. Do you know what I mean? Um, Tim, you're also fast, you're also aggressive. So when I'm looking at your markers, I don't see you using 16-inch or 20-inch
Nope.
barrel. I see you using your markers like assault, even CQB, because you like to move around those bunkers and clear them,
Yep.
right? So you're using your strength to your advantage.
Yep.
For me, my weaknesses, for example, I've had my problem last year. I was injured, so I knew I couldn't really run fast. I knew I couldn't be as aggressive as I was before, so I started shooting first strikes. So
Hmm.
first strikes, I was very good at mid distance.
You
At the
played
same
more
time,
sniper,
yeah, and but I wasn't a traditional sniper. Like I wasn't chilling in the
more of a
back
DMR
shooting.
kind of
More
runner,
of a
right?
DMR, yeah. So I knew that I have a good barrel. I had a good marker. I had a scope that actually works. And for me, if I was on, on the 50, let's say mid distance, that I will be very, very accurate. And that's what I did. I focused on that the whole year. And, I got a lot of elimination. I had a good time. I want to say I was successful last year. But I did struggle when I was using round ball and, for example, my home field. Because
Okay.
when you're playing walk-ons or members games, the game is really fast. You got 15 versus
Yes.
15.
Yes.
It's really fast, and I was injured, so I was getting my ass kicked last year in those small games. I did very well in the big games, and I struggled. Um, Again, you know, I had an injury, so that was my weakness last year. And a lot of people, how do you become accurate with round ball? Right? Practice. But if you're not a good aim, just get close to them. You don't need accuracy when you're 10 feet away from them. You know what I
I
mean?
find with round ball, for me, you have to be close
Yeah.
because one shot's going to go left, one shot's going right, one shot's going up, one shot, you know what I mean? Nothing's consistent like a first strike. So, unless you get that really good case of paint, but how often are we getting that? We do get it, but again, if it's I'm not just trying to I'm only speaking on MagFed because that's what I play. If they
Yeah.
sit in your mags too long, they get dimples, stuff like that. So then you're getting curves. If you're not cleaning your barrel out, if you had a barrel break, you get paint in there. If you didn't clean your marker out or your barrel out last time that you were out playing, you get that dried up paint in there, which is going to cause curves. It's just going to be a mess. So nothing's going to be consistent. Know your gear, clean your gear, take care of it. That's very important because you don't want to be out on the field and have something go down on you. It's going to happen, but chances are when it does happen, it's probably just an O-ring or something basic. But you don't want to get caught up in that.
Let's give an example. Let's say you're playing MacFed and in front of you there's a speedball player
Yep.
and he's just unloading paint. He's been in the same bunker for 5 minutes. Let's say, I mean, if you're playing walk-ons, the duration of the game is around 10 minutes, right? 7 to 10 minutes, right?
Yep.
Let's say he's there and he's just unloading pod after pod after pod. And you have you and your teammate, you both are MacFed players, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? First of all, you can tell that guy's not really moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tango, figure out a plan to eliminate that player. What should you do? What would be the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, if I got a player, is there just one guy there?
Just one guy, two
So
versus one.
there's me and you. We're going against Alex.
Yeah.
Alex is hailing pain at us, and I'm basically I'm gonna set it up so one of us can move in on him. I'm gonna put up some cover fire for you, and I'm gonna have you hopefully move in and eliminate him.
So you gotta
Once I
suppress him.
see that
You're gonna
you
keep shooting at him as I
suppressing,
move.
and we're gonna play leapfrog. In case say we're several yards out, let's play a game of leapfrog. When I see you get so far up ahead, you're gonna start taking cover for me. You're gonna
Yeah.
lay down suppressing so I can move up. And we're just gonna keep going, keep moving. Or maybe I can go left, go right, or you can go left, go right, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's how I would execute something like that. What about
Yeah.
yourself?
Well, let's say it was just me and him, and I've done this in the past, and I want to say 70-80% it does work. It depends on the player, right? Some of those players are very fast, are very good. They know what they're doing. But for the most part, some of those guys like to stay in one bunker. They got whatever, 7, 8 pods on them. I have 120 rounds max. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna suppress a little bit. I'm gonna keep him guessing where I'm moving, right? So I'm
Mhm.
gonna suppress, move to another bunker, find that angle. But at the same time, I'm getting close to him because I can't afford to miss. I can't afford to waste my ammo. I'll be
Nah,
dead,
because
right?
now you just wasted a mag or so getting up to that next bunker. So now you're only down to maybe
Exactly.
100 rounds.
He got 700. I got 120. I gotta shoot only what I can hit. The only time I'm wasting paint is when I'm suppressing him. So I'm gonna keep getting closer to him, and then bam, flank him, come from a side or from an angle he doesn't see me coming.
And
That is your best way because snap shooting again, you're wasting ammo, right?
can I say something that you just reminded me of? And when you move in, I was watching what's his name? He's a speedballer, professional. It's messing with me right now.
From Dynasty, Ryan something something.
Greenspan, that's it. Greenspan. He
Greenspan,
was
yeah.
saying when you
I forgot his last name
when
too.
you move in on a bunker, a lot of people will run wide. And if you look at the one video that I posted where I'm coming after Wolf, the hunt for
Mhm.
Wolf, it is.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that today
My
actually.
mistake, my mistake is when I was coming after Wolf, I ran out of my bunker and I took it wide. So when you take it wide, that leaves him that whole angle to get you. Run in as tight as you can to that bunker because now in order for him to get you, he has to pull himself out from cover more to get to
Yeah.
you.
I feel like you should have
That's
went
that's one
wider.
thing I've learned.
That's what I
No,
feel. I feel like you should have went wider and end up kind of on his side, on his
no, I
flank.
no, because the more I come out wide, he just has to sit tight up against the back of that truck and he can shoot me. Or
But
if
he
he's in a
didn't have a
bunker,
good
he can.
position. He wasn't a back of a truck. That's not a good bunker.
No, but I'm just saying I was using that one for an example, right?
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay. I
like
see
when
what you
you
mean.
bunker when you go up on somebody like that, the wider you are out, they
Yeah,
can sit like the way Greenspan was explaining it on those he explained it with a Dorito. When
yeah,
you move in up on that Dorito, if you're coming out wide, he can stick in tight and just pop, snap shoot at you. But if you're coming in tight to that Dorito, now
yeah,
you have the advantage of just coming in at him like this. You know do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
And if you're in tight, in order for him to get you, he's got to expose his body more
yeah.
because he's got to come out and wrap around the bunker now to
You
get
know,
you.
you know what I've noticed a lot of people do, even and I'm not taking any shots. I play speedball too. A lot of speedballer, for whatever reason, they're just focusing on the guy in front of them
Tunnel
because
vision. I notice that
yeah,
all
they're
the time.
thinking of that small map they're playing speedball, and a lot of time you end up shooting them when they're not even looking at you.
Now we
You're
have
shooting their
Patrick in the
pod bag.
chat. Do you know
Yeah,
why they do that? I want to, if Patrick can answer that, why do speedballers seem to, because I noticed it too, Chris. I've noticed
yeah.
speedballers get a lot of tunnel vision.
You know how
And
many speedballer I've shot in the pod pack just in their backs? They're not even looking at me.
yeah, I've seen it happen a lot. I've
Yep.
eliminated so many speedballers because when I play against a speedballer, that's what I'll say to people. I'll stay over here and keep him focused on me, and I want you to go get him on the side. And it
Yeah,
happens 9 out of 10 times we get him, and we have to get him out because he's their heavy gunner, I guess you can say, sort of,
buddy.
right? You know what I mean?
So if you guys are watching, you have to be aware. Okay, a lot of time I see, and Tim knows, and you guys in the chat know what I'm talking about. When you're just seeing that barrel, stick out of that bunker, and you start shooting at it one ball at a time, and then you hit it. You know what I mean? You understand that you're not all behind the cover. You know what I mean? Tuck your feet in, keep your marker behind the
Mm.
bunker. If you
Keep your
stick your
GoPro
pod in,
below the bunker too.
yeah, I got shot on a freaking GoPro so many times, man.
Right?
I'm gonna read a comment from Robert here, especially going after a player like Wolf that has a longer barrel. Usually, if you come in close and I have my Tipex, I have the advantage. He has to move so much more. Tipex is a very, very dirty, aggressive marker, man. You put it in your hand, you better be able to run. This is not a marker where you're gonna be snap shooting people from a distance. You have to get
No.
close. You have to
You
be
are
fast.
up
You have to be
front.
aggressive. Oh yeah. Part of speedballing is having a ton of reliance on your team. Yes. So they focus on one thing. Believe the team has to other guys for them. It's difficult to switch out for that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. One thing I like about speedballers is they really communicate and they're really loud on the
Yes.
field.
Yes.
Like today was a great example at Commando. There's a lot of speedballers, and you can say he's on the snake, he's on the snake, right side, right bunker, right side, right bunker. So it's communication is so important. It could be the difference between winning and losing a game. So even if you don't know who you're playing with, don't be shy. Let them know what's happening on the
Yep.
field.
And don't
One thing
hesitate to
I
ask.
gave, one thing I gave an advice to a kid today. I told him, listen, he's like, I don't have any more ammo, and I call myself out. Never call yourself out
Never.
unless you are eliminated.
That's
Right?
right.
Stay on the field and basically just run around. Tell your teammate where the bad guys are.
I do
Let
it
them
all the
start
time.
shooting at
I
you.
run
So
out of paint within the first 10 minutes of a match sometimes.
exactly,
So like
exactly.
you might be out of air, you might be out of paint, but you ain't out of the game.
No, no. Monsieur Alex Donovan. They're used to getting shot, not afraid. Also, before the speedball match, each player has a plan to execute, hence the tunnel. Yeah. One thing tell you one thing about Alex. Alex is a very, very, very fast player. Okay. So someone like Alex, how should he play? His strength is his speed, right, Tim? So
Mm-hmm.
should he be aggressive? Should he be somebody who's maybe snap shooting players? He's still a new player, so maybe that snapshot, skill is not all there, but he got the speed. And Alex is a speedball marker. Then you should play like, for example, drag cam. You know what I mean? Keep the
Oh,
gun
for
up
sure.
and keep
And
moving.
keep
Be
moving.
aggressive.
Keep moving.
Yeah,
Look at
use the
Dread Cam.
fire
That guy
rate
never
to your
stops.
advantage. Yep.
He's always on the go. That guy is and unpredictable because he
Yeah.
could be coming at you right now with 10, 15 players right in front of him. And within seconds, he's going to take them out. And then bam, he's down that hill and he's coming into somewhere else where you wouldn't even think to be.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering, how the hell is he over there? Because he's like Alex. He's fast.
Yeah.
And
Alex is fast.
sometimes,
He's so fast, he makes me feel slow and old. Damn you, Alex.
well, Chris, again, that's the McBreakfast.
I haven't had McDonald's in 3 weeks. Back in the gym, feeling healthy. I feel good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be positive. I played in the snow today. I'm okay. I'm not limping. Limping is tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a
Some
different
of
day,
you guys
though.
know what I'm talking about. No, my advice. I think the most important advice is Patrick talked about that, and other guys talked about that. Is just play with better players. You know what I mean? If you want to become
Definitely
a better player, just play more. Play more. Take care of your marker because your marker will take care of you during a game. All right. Make sure you clean your marker every time you play, or every time you end up playing. Clean it. Make sure you put oil or grease, whatever it is. Take care of it. Keep that elbow in. Be aggressive. Don't be afraid of getting shot. Do you know what I mean? But the main thing is you gotta stay active. You gotta keep playing. If you play once every 6 months, I'm sorry, buddy.
it's not going to work.
It's not gonna work. You gotta practice. You know what I mean?
Like, look at me. I just took 4 months off and man,
I didn't.
re-indexing my mags and everything killed me. So
active.
next year, George, I will be coming to more of the Mag Fed League. I will be there.
Actually,
It's
me
just,
too. Me too.
It helps, man.
It
Seriously, I don't know if that's why he does it because he knows so many players are wanting to play in the off season. I don't know. Is that just a good time for him to get numbers? But and then again, the CQB that he has at the field is phenomenal, man. Like if you've ever wanted to become a good CQB player and you're in Ontario and you're around the GTA, you need to hit up his games.
Oh, Tim, this guy wants to tell you something. Oh man, he's your boy. I don't know what to tell you.
Who? Which one?
Jeff. He's like, "What's up, you bold?"
Go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed.
Go to bed, Jeff.
Big comment. This is great, but keep in mind that in 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can't find them, maybe you can hire the A team. What? Oh man, I think okay. We'll talk. All right, I don't know what that was. Sorry, Patrick. It was a good one though. I think Patrick is watching their own podcast at this point. Right. George is like, honestly, I do it for selfish
I'm
reasons.
reading that now.
Just so I can shoot people in the off season.
That's awesome, George. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're all selfish. I mean, yeah, why not? There's
That's
nothing wrong
the
with that,
best.
bro.
That's the best answer I've heard yet. Why anyone runs a league or a game, just so you can shoot people in the face, man. Like,
That's not selfish. That's, well, it is what it is, you know? I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying the pickup league. I can't because it's
oh
freaking
man,
far.
so
But
many
next
people
year,
love
I'm
that
gonna be
league.
there.
Dude,
And
it's
that's only in the off
awesome.
season, right? It's only
Like
in the wintertime?
George, can you correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say October until pretty much when the season starts. I think until April
Okay.
is when it runs. I'm pretty sure. George, correct me if I'm wrong, dude. And he has a few different types of games that he plays, and they're awesome, dude. And they are tense. Let me tell you, man. Like, whoo, like,
CQB, man. It
oh
have to be
man,
intense.
like,
That's why we
yeah,
loved
but
it.
he has CQB games, dude, that when you hear it in the staging, you're like, nah, this ain't gonna work, right? And you go out there, he has the 4 corner ones. He has 2 teams, and he splits each team up into 2 squads. So
Yeah.
one squad will go up in the top left corner, one squad will go in the bottom right corner, and vice versa on the other team. So, dude, and it's just crazy the way the action goes down on you. It's phenomenal, man. Like, and you're thinking, what do you mean we're getting split up? We're going here, we're going there. And when you play it and you see how the
You feel me, man?
rush,
You know how hard it is for me to get there. But I was gonna go and
make a
play,
trip up sometime.
and I ask you, but you know how it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next year for sure I'll be there because I do want to play more. I feel good this year compared to last year. You know how busy we're gonna be this year. We got I got like 20 events. You got the same. We're going to the same event this year. We're going to every major game here in Canada, Ontario, and Quebec. So, if you want to give one advice, like your top advice to a new player, how to become a better player, what would it be?
Communication.
Communication. Okay.
For me, it'd
I
be
would say
communication
play
because
more.
they're new players. So a lot of them aren't really knowing what's going out on the field, right? Every
Yeah.
day, because if they're a new player and they love the sport, they're going to learn their marker. They're going to learn their gear because they're playing with it every day. They're excited.
Yeah.
It's like you when you get something new. So I wouldn't say know your gear. I would say communicate myself, just because you might know all your gear, but some new players, when they get on the field, they're shy. They don't know how to talk, or not that they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to communicate with their teammates, and they're shy. So it holds them back. Don't be shy. Communicate. If you have something you want to go try and do on the field, holler at your players beside you and say, listen, I want to go and I want to bunker this guy, or I need to get to the top of that 3rd story and there's whatever. I need help to get here. Say it. Communicate with them. They're going to work with you. They're going to
Speaking
get
of
you there.
communications, William Roy from aka Murdoch from
Join a
SAS
team.
Ottawa. I played with those guys so many times, and the one thing that I always admire about them is communication. Everybody got comms, and Roy, you agree with me, all right? The strength of SAS Ottawa is their communication. They work as a team. They're a real team, man, right? So
Yeah,
speedball,
it's
magfed,
important, man.
rec whatever it is, you have to have communication in order to win. Me and Tim, we're gonna have amazing communication during D-Day. That's what we are going to win. Okay,
Oh, we already won.
we
We're
already won.
communicating
I got the
already.
trophy somewhere in the
Callista's
basement.
off getting married. Josh is off selling cars. You and I, we're communicating.
Yeah, we're
We're
doing it. We're
communicating. We
making it.
got
We're
this,
making it
bro.
happen.
We got this.
Yeah, Murdoch saying, "Yeah, we play as a team. You guys do play as a
And
team."
you know what, Murdoch? Listen, I hear you're coming to play with us this in March at the end of for the MagFed only game.
What game is it again?
And every time Canadian Conflict or Operation Conflict.
Operation
Conflict.
which
And
is
every
happening March
time,
26th.
I think I've only got to play with Murdoch once for a full game. Every time we're teamed up, we get separated. And I love the way his team plays. I love the way they communicate. I love the way they work on the field together. They're the real deal, man. They are the real deal.
They're a unit.
And I pray that I just get another full game in with those guys, because they're going to teach me so much just playing alongside of them. I know it. I know just the way they play, the way they communicate, the way they move, the way they operate, everything about them.
So that's when I play with them, you have no choice but to be part of their own squad.
Keep up or fall back, buddy.
I'm a bit selfish when I play. Like I found like opportunity for me to get a bunch of elimination as I just go. Bah. It's
I
not me.
don't.
It's the adrenaline. I got that. I
It
got that.
happens. It
Yeah.
happens. But I
Yeah.
only get like that when I'm ready to do a suicide rush.
Oh, I love that
Or if
suicide
somebody
rush.
else just ain't doing it and we
You know
know
what?
it needs to be done, then I'll go do it.
You know what? What is the weakness and the strength of Tango? I mean, you're not giving anything away.
My weakness
Yeah.
is I would have to say I used to be a great defender and I have a problem
What do you
still
mean
to
by
this.
that? What do you mean, great defender?
I love defending. I used to love defending.
Like holding a position?
Oh, hold, if someone told me, listen, you need to hold this tower for a half an hour, whatever, bring it. Let's do it. I love digging it because I love having the action come at me
Yeah.
from different angles because I'm practicing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
here, I'm over here. So what my weakness is I still have a problem when I'm charging at somebody. I still, as soon as I see the enemy coming at me, I dig in instead of continuing to go get them. Or I'll hold that position. It's
Oh,
like, dude, you
okay.
got to move, Tim. Like, you can't stay here, Tango. Get up, get your ass going.
You play a bit conservative a little bit
I do.
sometimes.
I do.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm still working on that. And I would have to say my strong point is my communication.
Yeah.
And I have players when I come off the field, they'll tell me, man, you were communicating with us good. You had us going in the right places. You had us going here.
I can
I
I
find
can
my
see that.
strong point is communication, and I find my weakness is digging in when I shouldn't be.
You don't go all the way sometimes. You
I
just
don't go all the way sometimes. Let's just
yeah.
say it's because I'm a little bit out of shape or I took a few months off. Let's put it on that. What about you?
Damn. I had a good excuse last year. I was you know that I was pretty
Injured.
injured, but
Besides that,
I think my weakness is recently I've been really losing a lot of snap shooting battles.
is
Snap
that
shot
because you're
snap
not
shooting?
speedballing anymore?
Because I'm not because I'm not speedball. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I only used my speedball marker last year twice.
Right.
So I lost that. I was very good
Gotcha.
because I'm someone who actually played pump. So I played pump for a while and then really made me like really deadly. I would win freaking 4 out of 5 fights. But recently, I'll be honest with you, I've been losing a lot of the snap shooting battles to very highly skilled guys. You guys know who you are. I just lost one to Pierre. Yeah, he shot me on my. The thing is too, man. Like I got like 18 cameras on my marker. Like that's the price to pay, dude.
selfie cams, three
No,
different
I got.
sides.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll be honest with you guys. I got shot 3 times today, or 4 times on my camera. Like my selfie cam, I got an external battery, and I got my run cam, my zoom cam in the bottom. So there's just so much stuff going on in front of it, which adds a bit of weight to my
Yep,
marker.
it
But
does.
that's the weakness, the sacrifice you make to capture the footage, right? So I think um just maybe not practicing or not picking my battles right. I know I'm gonna
Okay.
lose. I know I'm gonna lose. These guys, it's what they do. Like Pierre today, he shot me right on the camera. I missed him a couple of times. Like I shot him, it literally went real an inch away from his face. I had him, right?
Oh,
Yeah, but then he got me in the camera. So probably I should have done something different. But like I said before, in snow, I can't really rush him. I can't play my style. So today would have been a great day, to use my speedball marker, which I don't have anymore. So I think strength for me is being I'm a very unpredictable and aggressive player.
so that's your strength.
Yeah, and I can read the
Okay.
field pretty well. Like I know when to push. I know when to go for those kill streaks. It's been my bread and butter for a couple of years. So and just like you like to be on the defense, I like to be on the offense. I like
Oh,
to
I
attack.
love the offense. I
Yeah.
just have a bad habit of when I see the enemy coming at me, I'll take my first bunker or something instead of just continuing to go. Instead of stopping at the 50, go to their 40, go to their 30. I don't
Mhm.
sometimes.
I know Murdoch, his weakness is CQB.
I never would have thought of that.
My strength is CQB because CQB is all about that being if you're being aggressive in CQB, man, you are gonna win. It's one of those.
For
It's one
sure.
of those situations like the hallway of death. In at PRG, when you're not afraid to get lit up, you're getting that W. You know what I mean? Um, I mean it's painful. You get lit up, and in CQB situation, you're gonna feel that, right? It's not a big deal. You'll be fine in 3 seconds. But I've never had an issue with getting lit up. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'll
I've
snap
never
a
had
little
an
bit, like
issue with it.
shoot, whatever, and then I'll walk away.
What
But
doesn't kill you makes you stronger, buddy.
100%, 100%. So
Right?
yeah. So if you have a weakness, let's say you fall into that conservative style sometimes, right? What are you
Hmm.
doing about that? Are you practicing? Are you trying to overcome, for example, you're
Well,
trying to be more aggressive maybe?
again, I see it in my footage when I come home and I start editing. I see it in my footage and I say to myself, Tim, what are you doing, dude? Like, look at this opportunity you had. Look at that opportunity you had. You could have went here. You could have went there. You know. So now I say to myself when I'm uh, finding myself do that, I got a little thing in my head that goes off and says, "Get your ass up and start moving forward, buddy." So, but last weekend I couldn't. It was hard because we were playing in the snow, same as you. No excuse.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
can find a different way to move around in the snow to make it a bit more easy.
You got to be in shape. We got to be in shape.
But uh I just need to keep moving, man. I just need to say to myself, I had a couple teammates, Brad and Shane, and they really brought the aggressiveness out of me. I owe all that to them. They brought that side of me out, and it was like, Tangle, come on, we got to keep going.
Yeah.
And just keep going, guys. Just keep going. And that's my weakness. That's what I got to work on. I see it in my videos sometimes, and I just have to keep practicing. Say to myself, you got to get out of this mood, man. You got to go forward.
Yep. I think we are done here. So before we wrap the show, I want to thank our Patreon for helping us out. Sorry I don't have the banner yet. We were super busy. I was playing today paintball, so sorry about that. Big shout out to our VIP and our sponsor, Commando Action Center. Big shout out to First Strike and Planet Clips for their amazing support. Of course, our Patreon, AJ, Matt, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And of course, King Deep. You guys are really helping us out. You know, the stuff does cost some money. And with your help, we're able to, upgrade. Today is a different software. Again, new software. We
Yep.
actually upgraded, and hopefully, you guys can see the difference here. Big shout out to all of you guys who liked and follow our page, and of course, share our podcast. We're
Yes,
really
thank
having a
you.
good time, and I really hope, me and Tim, that you guys have, maybe if you're a new player, if you're a young player, that maybe you've learned a couple of things.
I
And
hope
of
so.
course, yeah, exactly. That's the point
I
of the
believe
show.
I believe we've reached out to a couple people. AJ, as a matter of fact.
Yep. What's up, AJ? But if you have more questions, don't hesitate. Send us a message, and we always reply. Tim, always a pleasure, brother.
It
We're
is,
getting
brother.
close to that episode 20, eh?
We are. We're getting
Big
close to that
celebration.
1,000 too. Maybe we should do some type of crazy shenanigans or something. Nothing hot, buddy. I love my hot sauce. I still been eating hot sauce lately, but I cannot do that again. That just
One chip
I had to
challenge.
take about a month off.
If you guys want to have fun, go watch some of our first episode when me and Tim did the one chip challenge, and we passed. A couple of hours later, it was pretty difficult. That's it. We need to end the show. You got to go to work. I got to finish editing a video.
So do I, brother.
Well, Tim, always a pleasure, brother. We're
It is,
right
brother.
there.
And
I'll see
viewers, followers, thank
you.
you very much.
See
Chris,
you
I'll see
on
you
the
on the
frontline.
27th,
28th.
28th.
PRZ Operation Conflict.
I'll be up there on the
Methamphetamine.
27th, though.
All
The
right.
Friday.
You don't need to brag.
Friday night, I'll be up there sleeping in a car.
Nacal will be at home. All right. All right, guys. See you on the front line. Peace. Thank you for everything. And we'll see you next Sunday, 8 o'clock, for another episode. Peace.
Definitely. Take care, guys.